Hello, America. Welcome to Culture Club USA. I'm DiBRAVA, and today's riddle is: a woman wreathed with feminism devalues her own worth to society. Strong men pass her by. The weak spark her anxiety. As the floods of anger and confusion rapidly breach the waterline, the cruelest gift comes upon her: the passage of time. Okay, in today's episode of OnlyFans on Trial, Andrew Wilson goes to war with another herd of overeducated womanists who rush in like stallions but are reduced to harmless donkeys. Let's get into it.
Chair 4, why do you have such a lack of respect for men? Why are you so unappreciative of men?
My name's Lily, and I do respect and appreciate men. I think there are a lot of men that are great. That doesn't mean I don't think some of them are
30%.
scary.
30%. You said 30%.
Okay, I don't. You forced me to pick a number. I don't have like.
I didn't force you.
Well, you were pushing me to do it. If I was silent, you were going to.
Originally, you said 40%.
Okay,
Someone say 70%, 70 million men in the United
My
States.
response to that: I do respect and appreciate men.
Do we need men?
Yes. Just like we need women. We need both.
This one is a spitfire. Okay, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good. I mean, I've never heard somebody like snapping back at Brian that fast. This should be interesting.
We need both. I don't think there's a world where it can just. You don't think? Okay.
What do you think?
Andrew's meditating on that one. Oh, she wants to tangle on that one.
I'm not convinced on that, to be honest with you.
Okay.
But for the same reasons that you wouldn't be, right? So I just say, like, sure, men are total monsters, right? And
Say that.
and since they could, well, no, this is me, right? It's like, okay, if men really are have the capacity to just be kind of like these oppressive monsters, then why not just handmaid tale the whole thing? You just put all the women in the cages, right? And just like livestock them if you wanted to. Women could never do that in opposition. And so because of that, I'm like, well, it seems like men are pretty benevolent because they really could and have in other countries done that, like in the Middle East, places like this. They completely strip the rights of women kind of overnight. And women can't really do much about it, but they can't do it in reverse, right? They can't make men do this in reverse. So when the question becomes, are women necessary? It's like, yeah, I can agree that women are necessary to have children, but are they necessary to run a society? Clearly not. Like,
Wow. What he just said, that's pretty profound. Because actually, what this whole Handmaid's Tale thing, like, think about it. What he's saying is there's actually precedence for it. It's been done in other countries, right? Women are stripped of their rights, and they can't really do anything about it. What he's saying is actually really factual, because it's been proven already. It's just that Americans are living in a delusional mindset when it comes to this. Because really, the only thing that women are actually really needed for is bearing children, right? There's absolutely nothing that a woman can do aside from bearing children that a man can't. That's been proven too. I mean, look at something as simple as like nursing, right? I mean, look how many male nurses there are. And a lot of them are better than the females. Think about it. You don't really need women for anything except bearing children. This is why we're in such a dangerous place in life. Very interesting.
like, clearly not. Like, I can point to you many societies right now where they're totally unnecessary in the running of the society. Like, that's just factually true. Now, what you're doing is you're taking this in your head. I can tell you this right now. Here's what you're doing. You're going, exactly. He actually believes that you should put women in cages and do horrible things. Even though I literally never said a word like that. I just want to let you know right now that that's not my ought claim. I'm just saying what is true.
Good, but I wasn't. So we should.
Yeah. So what is true is that no, I don't think society needs women to function. I don't think it needs them in any support role. Really, I don't think it needs them in any leadership role whatsoever. I think that if women were essentially relegated to second-class citizens, as an is statement, not an ought, as an is statement.
Here we go. I love it. I love it when he does. Do you know the difference between is and ought? Is and ought. Oh my God. Women, if they could be just regulated to second-class citizens. I mean, think about it. What he's saying is true. This is why we have to retain our value, ladies. Okay? We have value. But if we keep devaluing that value and saying, oh, men can carry children too. I mean, what's our worth? Come on.
If women were relegated to second-class citizens, I think society would be fine.
That's really upsetting to hear. So you really just think that women exist to give birth?
See, that's the ought. See the ought.
That's
See
what I'm
the
hearing.
ought. You see the ought there that you did there?
So that's
You
what
think
I'm hearing.
women
So you
only
don't-
exist to do that's an ought claim. I'm not saying ought.
So what do you?
I don't think women only exist to do that.
What are they
I'm
good
telling
for?
you descriptively. I want you to answer to the descriptor
Well, can
with
you
a counter
answer?
descriptor. I think it is true, not ought to be, but is true, that if women were relegated to second-class citizens,
Touch My Blade donated $200. If all men passed instantly, or if all women passed.
this guy's like
Thanos
always 5
snap.
seconds behind me
Who
on
would
this.
last longer?
Okay.
Think infrastructure, power, water, food, farming, etc.
I just want the counter descriptor. So I'm not saying this should be true. I'm not saying that you should do any of this, because you shouldn't. I'm just giving the descriptor of what is correct and accurate. So from my view, it is correct, descriptively true, that if all women were made in...
Not to interrupt, because we've heard this so many times, right? We already know that if women fell off the face of the earth, that aside from birth, okay, and that type of evolution, men would have no problem just keeping society going just fine until everyone died off. Okay, that's a fact. Now, if that was in reverse, we all know that women wouldn't survive even 2 months. It would be very difficult. I mean, go watch Wonder Woman. Look how that turned out for them. I mean, it just doesn't work. There are certain things that just aren't going to get done. Could they survive differently? Yeah, but can they survive in what we built here? No. Are they going to maintain the skyscrapers in New York City? No. None of this stuff, nothing's getting maintained. Nothing is going to continue on. You understand? It's just not going to. That's a fact. But I just want to point out how bored Madison is. Madison's like, oh, can I just go back to on-the-ground reporting?
True, that if all women were made into second-class citizens tomorrow, they had no real rights, they were not allowed in government positions of any kind, nor leadership positions, that society would be just fine. There would not be any... Like, I can't really even envision... I just really can't even really envision any problems, honestly. So I'm waiting for a counter descriptor to say, nope, I do think that there would be lots and lots and lots of problems, and here's what they would be. But I don't want to hear what we should do, because I already agree with you, we shouldn't do this.
Well, not enough women have even been in government to prove that they have the capabilities to help run it.
Yeah, but that doesn't counter the descriptor of this being true. Like, I'm just going to grant that. Like, maybe women would be the bestest rulers ever. Let's say they occupied 90% of government, they'd be way better than men. My descriptor, though, is just that if all women were relegated to second-class citizenry, I don't see why society wouldn't function fine.
I mean, I just disagree with you, just on the grounds of you can't have one, strata, or like one type of person be in power.
Well, it wouldn't be one type of person. It would be thousands of different types of
What is she talking about? See, this is where they get in trouble. What he's just about to say, like, it wouldn't be one type of person. First of all, what does she mean, like, all women in government? Ladies, do you realize what you're doing? Like, does she's a feminist, right? Which means you're pro-woman, right? Do you realize that your actions are actually doing the antithesis of that? These feminists actually prove over and over that women have less and less and less and less value. You get it? It's nuts to me. It's like, if these conversations actually prove more and more to men why they don't need women. It's conversations like this that, like, mgtow and all these things started. Because if you get past the fact that, okay, forget about evolution, forget about babies, all right? Forget about children, and it's just, what do we need women for? It's like women cause so many problems. They're too emotional. Like, if the world was literally ran by men, everything would be a lot smoother. And if it was ran by strong males, not beta males, it would have even less problems. Think about it. Like, who's inventing this? What do women do? I just want to know, what do they do? What do they make? What do they make aside from babies? What do you make? Everything that a woman usually invents is something that was already kind of invented by a man, and then maybe you took it to another level or made an option, or that. It's like, did you invent this microphone? Did you make these desks? Did you make this telephone? Like this whole studio, did a woman do any of this? No, they didn't. Not even the light bulbs. Seriously.
Men. It would be men.
Yeah, but wait,
And
there's only two types of humans, right? Men and women.
Right.
Right. So there's male and
one
female.
type of person.
But can't we point to cultures right now where women are completely disenfranchised from all power roles and the society functions fine?
Not for them. They're miserable.
Well, no, it's not good
they
for.
Can't do the things they want to
I
do.
agree. It's not good for the women. The women don't like it. But that's not contending again with the descriptor. The descriptor is, would society be fine? Like you could have a totally oppressed underclass.
The happiness of their citizens and the abilities for them to act out according to their own needs and wants. And so if women are oppressed and they can't do that, then it's not a stable and good society for everybody.
What if they...
How are women oppressed when every single thing a man does is to please a woman? Everything, down to your hairdryer. What did a guy invent a hairdryer for? Does he need it? No, it's to please women. Okay, why were cars invented? So women don't have to walk. Why were strollers invented? So women have an easier time getting their children from point A to point B. I mean, this really just becomes so monotonous after a while, this conversation. It doesn't make sense. Everything men do is for us. Why would you want them to stop doing it? Why do you want to do a man's job? I don't get it.
Have a massive brainwashing program which convinces all of the women that they're actually happy, as many of these nations do. And so the women report.
Let me add something. It's for women and children. That's what men do. Men work and build and make things to make the lives of women and children easier. That's how that works. Okay? And also, she's talking about women in other countries. How do you know? Because Americans say that they're unhappy? How do you know that these women in other countries that really have less rights are less happy than women here? I'm taking a look around at America, and these women here look pretty miserable. They are pretty miserable, let me tell you. Okay? All right? I'm just saying.
We're really happy. No, I'm not kidding. Like this is true right this second. I can point to many countries where this is the case.
Gulf states.
Yep. Tons of them.
You look at countries like Qatar, Dubai, they don't have really any women in positions of power at all.
Tomorrow, here's how it's going to be.
Second-class citizens, and
here's Twitter. Here's Twitter tomorrow, right? Andrew Wilson says we should do thing I literally said we should never do. Just giving a descriptor, but I can already tell.
And why does that make you a second-class citizen? Because you like the fact that men take care of everything for you and make your life easier. How does that make you a second-class citizen? This girl's like, oh, so they're just happy being second-class citizens. Why does that make you a second-class citizen? Don't you realize by now that the whole feminist movement, okay, you've seen enough of this podcast, whatever podcast, we've heard enough talk of this. If you're sitting on that podcast, you should be schooled enough at this point, okay, to understand that this was a government operation to separate everyone so they can make more money. 2 cars, 2 houses, control the way. I mean, come on. Think about it. None of the feminist movement actually helped women. Just didn't.
Well, I think also maybe, Andrew, you can speak to like the actual, I guess, practical application here when it comes to men being involved in critical infrastructure. And is that kind of the angle that you're coming at this with? Like,
no, I'm literally coming at it from all angles. If women were removed from all societal function, like let's say that this is a Middle Eastern nation where you can't even walk down the street without like having a male escort. Those nations, I'm not kidding, they exist right now. I know that for some reason feminists think that this is like, you're talking about a hypothetical handmaid's tale. These civilizations exist right now and they have hundreds of millions of people in them. Hundreds of millions. If you remove women from all critical roles in society, these nations keep going fine. Like, in many cases, they thrive. Like, that is descriptively true. So I don't even know why people argue it. It's like,
I agree.
Yeah,
I
it's true.
agree.
Dubai's a little bit more liberal, but like,
yeah. It's just true, right?
You
It's
look at
like,
countries like Saudi, it's like that. Saudi's a pretty prosperous country.
it's like that all over the Middle East. It's like that in many regions of Asian nations as well. It's like that in many places where like women are completely removed from all positions of power, authority, autonomy. And just, I mean, yeah, the society's function. Like, now you can say it's not optimal, sure. You can say it's morally reprehensible. Agreed.
I mean, I'd love to not be able to walk down the street without a man walking me. I mean, that would be kind of great. I mean, think about it. No responsibility. No, I mean, come on. And this is the thing that kills me. Each time he argues with these feminists, he has all the facts laid out. There's precedence for it. Hello? This is not an idea. It's actually going on in other countries. And it's working just fine. To the extent of what he's saying, better than here. I mean, look at this country. It's a mess. You've got women raising obese children, children that can't read and write. Everyone's arguing. Women are miserable. I mean, how is this better than that? How is Saudi Arabia not doing better than us as far as women being happy? I mean, this is kind of like nuts. Think about it.
In this particular case, most of human history, most of human society, and currently, I would say most societies in the world outside of the West, women are relegated to secondary roles. And society has absolutely flourished. I just want, right? Except the West. The West is the only one way below thresholds of birth rates. They're the ones who are way below kind of these thriving rates. And so it's like, descriptively, I can clearly see that women were relegated historically to a lesser role. And in most nations, right this second, they're relegated to a lesser role. And these societies function fine. So this like idea that women must be in all these places, it's just absurd to me. I don't even understand why anybody would argue with that. They could say, again, you can make the moral arguments against it. I would agree, right? I don't want them in a secondary role. I'm just saying that descriptively, I can see with my own eyeballs that these societies are not going like out of existence because women are not in government.
Yeah, like, okay, you proved you're better. Like, I don't know, like, what are you even trying? Why are you arguing for that?
Okay, so here we go. You see what she's doing? Oh, okay, like, so you prove you're better. Like, so, okay, whatever. Like, it's like when they don't have the answer, like, she's like, oh, I can't really combat that, so whatever. Like, what are you trying to prove, Andrew? Like, I mean, she can't. You ever notice something about the women, these modern thinking women, these feminists? They can never just say, guess what, Andrew, you're right. They just can't do it. They can't ever just say, you know what, you're right. You know what? You're right. I'll have to think about that. I have to really reconsider. I have to reevaluate my opinion there. You made a good point. They never can do it. It always has to go back to this like second grade, like your mama thing. Oh, so what? So who cares, Andrew? Like, who can't, like, so. It's just like, can't you have a conversation? Maybe then we would expand our knowledge a little more if a conversation could actually happen, instead of just stupidity.
I never argued for it.
I don't think he was saying.
By the way, I just want to let you know. Hang on, I just want to let you know. I never argued for it. Hang on. I would like you to acknowledge that not one time did I actually argue for that. No. Nope, can't do it. If you give a descriptor, you believe it. Right?
Do you think society would be better without men?
I don't think society would be better without men or women. Like, there need to be both.
Well,
Also,
for
to answer your
reproduction.
point, for
reproduction.
society, women need to be nurturers, educators, caregivers. And that's not to say that they can't also do other things. And yes, maybe this book you read proved that like they're 3% or 2% of engineers or doctors or whatever. But if in a world, hypothetically, if men did not exist, a world could still flourish with just women. I'm not like, it can, if just men.
You're delusional, lady. You are delusional. You're delusional. What are the percentage of women? What's the percentage of women that can repair your building? What's the percentage of women that can shingle your house? What's the percentage of plumbers? What's the percentage of scientists? What's the percentage of women surgeons? What's the come on, it's basic. It's basic. Okay, no. Society would crumble almost immediately. Who's fixing your car? Replacing your transmission? Who's building new cars? Who's Elon Musk? Where's the woman email? Where's the female Elon Musk? Where is it? What, Kamala Harris? She's going to save the day? I'm going to go with no. Who's farming? Yeah, who's doing all that stuff? Who's doing all the textile? Who is physically doing the physical work that it takes for us to have food? You? No. I'm going to go with no. You won't even survive. Never mind survive in the world of convenience that we live in. You're not going to survive, period.
And a world could flourish. Just women, a world could flourish. But with both, there needs to be some kind of level ground where both can flourish at the same time without pushing down another.
Exactly. Yes.
But I almost wonder if this is
Exactly. Oh my God. Yeah. Because anything it just says, yeah, like exactly. Women can do everything. Oh my God. Like, yeah, women can do everything. I mean, we can lift as much as men. We can like do literally everything. Go to war. Yeah. What happens when all women, okay, rule the United States? There's no men left. What happens when China decides to come over? Even their weak men, okay? Physically weak, okay? We're not talking about these strong countries where they're, 6'6" and coming in lumberjacks or, Africans running and you do it. Oh, no. What happens when China, who has physically the weaker men, come over here, lady? How do you think that's going to work? Okay? Our strongest women can't even fight those men. It just doesn't work that way. We're done. You're an idiot.
It's more so like, and we've gone into these like apocalyptic scenarios where what would happen if all men disappeared instantly or all women disappeared instantly? And I think perhaps Andrew, a little bit of what he's getting to, although he seems to have expanded on it a bit, is that if all women were to disappear, it would suck. That'd be terrible. It would be the end of the species. But when it comes to the survival, Andrew disagrees. Okay, what the bone marrow shit? Okay, because men are involved in critical infrastructure, the world would continue. But if you were to remove all men from the world instantly, it would be catastrophic. And I think the majority of women would be dead within 3 weeks.
If women,
Nope.
If women were allowed the education and resources that men had in the past,
They are.
Able to have,
They are. Yes,
they
they
weren't allowed
are.
to have school before. And if
In the past, today you can do anything as a woman.
Today,
Yeah, you just get paid less.
Women were always the most literate.
Oh, no.
Just so you know.
Yeah.
Just so you know, women were always the most literate.
literally,
Yeah, they were the
These girls are such fembots. That's what I like to call them, fembots. Okay, they're feminist robots. They don't even understand what they're saying. You understand? Like, there's no actual clarity to it. They just repeat what they're told. They don't even understand it. Women don't have access to all the same resources and education that men do. Again, let's go down to something as basic as war. Let's go down, let's talk about something as basic as the safety of our country. Okay, who's the majority of people in the military? Okay, Navy SEALs. Okay, the people that protect our water. Okay? Women? Huh? What? Huh? Yeah. Idiots. Idiots. One thing Brian said that I agree with is that most women will be dead in about 3 weeks. Maybe not 3 weeks, but I'm going to say 3 months, it's over. You're done. Okay? Because first of all, it's not even going to take that long for other people with men to come invade us. I'm telling you, watch Wonder Woman. It's eye-opening. Not that it doesn't make sense. It's perfect common sense. But go watch Wonder Woman. When it's all female and Wonder Woman's, she has, what do we have, special powers? I mean, let's come down to reality here. Those men came in on those ships to that island and destroyed those women in a matter of minutes. And they spent years fighting and training and swords and all this. It didn't take 15 minutes for them to all be dead. Who escaped? Wonder Woman, because she's got special powers. I mean, come on, wake up. Okay, this isn't a Disney flick. It's reality.
always the most literate. Actually, women knew how to read more than men did.
Engineering jobs, if we have opportunities.
But the world would be better without
But so, okay.
Well, hang on, I'll address it.
Wait.
You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, that almost nobody had an engineering job. Almost everybody worked locally, right? You had localized farms, things like that. That's where most people kind of did what they did. There wasn't when you're talking about specializations, things like that, wasn't a thing most people did. Most people kind of grew up in a region, stayed in that region, and they did things like family farms, kind of localized jobs, farm hands, things like that. It's mostly labor-based rather than specialty-based. But women, right, interestingly enough, they actually have the highest literacy rates, still do. Still do.
I feel like if they could fill other roles during that time, they could have flourished and became great in their role.
Which roles?
What?
Which roles?
Like administration, government.
Administration. It's like what I went back to what I was talking about earlier. Okay, who's farming? How are you eating, lady? When Whole Foods is empty, okay, and you got to start making your own food, how are you doing it? Who's farming the land? Who's excavating and building and maintaining the sky rises? Lady, the whole thing crumbles. Okay, like this pink-haired broad, it's like, you know, you're delusional. I don't understand how people have become this stupid. There's no common sense. It's actually very scary that we're in a time where women have absolutely no common sense. A woman can't even actually sit and say a man has more physical strength than a female by nature. We can't even admit to that anymore. Everything is just, you know, these anomalies. Every woman's an anomaly. You know, every woman's an engineer. Every woman can do anything, make anything. Every woman could be Elon Musk and invent everything. Every woman could do this, could do that. It makes no sense. Even something as simple as like cell phone towers, communication. You think that's going to continue on? You think your phones are going to keep working? No, they're not. Something as simple as that. Electricity, okay? Basics.
Well, okay, what in government?
Anything, political positions.
What time?
Well, I don't understand how would that have helped their practical skills?
I feel like if women were never impressed in the past, then we would be more level.
Why?
Because
women in the most egalitarian nations on planet Earth still move away from engineering and applied science jobs and move towards, well, mostly secretarial work and service work, which is where they're at right now. If you look at the top 10 jobs of women, what do you think they are? It's like teacher, nurse, secretary, right? They're doing the same shit they were doing 100 years ago. When given the choice, in other words, they still move towards the same occupations that they were
that's
moved
what they thought
into.
They could do. That's what society set up for them to do.
Right now.
Now we have more available.
Then why do they move still towards?
I did that exactly, actually. I was originally going to study, I studied at Embry-Riddle. I was going to be an aerospace engineer. So I was getting my associates for engineering fundamentals, and I switched it to ultrasound tech.
Yeah.
You know, and it just means mostly calculus and trigonometry.
They're actually desperately trying to herd them into those career paths. Yeah, but they don't
want them.
Not doing it.
They don't want them.
Yeah.
Why do women want to complicate their lives? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Why do women want to complicate their lives? You want to go to school forever. You want to have to study endlessly, do something that's unnatural to you. You want to have to, why? When you can literally just have a family and have a man take care of everything. I don't get it. Somebody wake me up.
Scared of spiders?
Mosquitoes?
Scared of spiders?
Terrified of them.
Scared of spiders?
No.
No?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Okay.
You?
Well, not scared of spiders.
Cockroaches.
Not scared of
Spiders.
spiders.
Okay.
What's the names? Are you scared of spiders?
No.
Have any of you ever asked?
Crush them with my hand.
Yeah, it's because you're men, right?
But have any of you ever lived with a man or been in a room with a man and there was a bug of some kind?
Yeah, and he ran away screaming, so I got it for him.
That's so
Okay, well, you did soy boy liberal cocks.
That's pretty funny.
I mean, it is what it is. But look, I've encountered my own anecdotal experience. I have spiders. I've had spiders in my rooms. Women are like, a spider.
Well, I mean, you've been with.
Now Brian's just trying to show off that he's had women in his room. Brian, we know you've had sex. We know, you don't got to try to prove it to us. You don't have to prove it, okay? We believe you at this point. Now, I'm pretty sure that there's a large percentage of women that have said on that podcast that you've tried to take home that said no. Come on, don't get mad at me. I'm just telling the truth.
But I'm not. I don't.
say that about
There are
everybody.
submissive women that are willing to just do whatever you say.
Exactly.
What?
That's what
Well,
you
then why
expect.
would
That's
that's
what
what
you
you just
expect
told me
women
even about
to be
men?
submissive to you.
You panicked when a guy had an unloaded rifle. Like, what are you talking about?
Like,
Like,
someone had a gun towards you. If you didn't know
an unloaded rifle? Your boyfriend walked around with an unloaded rifle?
Should we play the other one?
wasn't loaded.
Let's do the other one really quick. All right. What about this? What about this? Okay. All right. Now this is more. This is really intense.
That is so sick.
This is.
He chose to do that. Ain't nobody told him to get that job.
Well, someone
Here's the
has to
reality.
do it.
Yeah, somebody has to do it. Women ain't trying to do this shit.
I would do that shit.
You
Oh my God, what? Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about. Ladies, you want to do this? You want to do this? Are you kidding me? This is what I mean. You ever see these people even window watch? Like, how about when they're building buildings? Like on Park Avenue right now, they're building this massive. I've been watching that thing go up since the beginning. There are men just walking on beams, like 80 stories up. Okay? Is this what you want to do? Why? Why do you want to do everything a man can do? You want to do this? This is ridiculous. I want no part of it.
I would do that shit.
You see the lights in here? You see the lights? You know when
would?
it's fucking freezing?
You would do that?
Some women would.
But you know
Do y'all enjoy light?
It's just electricity. Like, yeah, men do the job for it. But like at the end of the day,
Do you realize how
why are
important
you, like, praising
electricity is? Even if we didn't remove
It's just electricity.
if a female
need-
wanted to do that,
hold on.
then she
Even if we
can
didn't
too.
get rid of like the sewage and the telecoms and the trucking and the transportation.
Girls are truckers.
Oh my God, he makes a good point. Brian, you make a good point. The sewage. You want to be garbage truck workers and are you repairing those trucks too? Wow. Somebody should actually break down like everything it takes, like just for Manhattan to run in a day, in 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? Or a week. Like every single job. And then look at the percentage of women doing those jobs and the percentage of men. It's just like that building I was just talking about, in Park Ave. You know what the women are doing there? They're holding a sign, stop. And they're doing this. They're on their Instagram. Oh, somebody got hit. Sorry. Sorry. I was doing a selfie, yo. I mean, come on. Come on. We have to have some kind of common sense here.
Too.
Okay. Even if we didn't get rid of those other things, do you realize how pampered the lives we live are? If we singularly got rid of electricity, we would all be like collectively panicking and fucked.
Especially Brian. He would be collectively panicking and, okay, yeah, like he would be like, oh my God, where's the electricity? I'm not gonna make my money from whatever. Guys, I have investors. Oh my God, guys, this is serious. How am I gonna get Andrew here? I don't know why, but I just don't believe Brian is not half beta.
If it's in the winter, we're dead.
Yeah, I
not
100% agree with you.
not
I
me.
never
I'm
said
good.
I did
Human
it.
race survived
I
if
just
you have
asked
no
you,
electricity.
don't you need electricity
Like, that was
too?
the thing.
That's all I
but I'm
asked you.
grateful for the men who provide it,
Perfect.
while
I'm
your
grateful for
pampered
having
asses
electricity.
have contempt for men.
I'm grateful for everybody that has put the
And you
effort
don't-
to give us electricity. Everybody, male, female. Because you're telling me not one female has not helped?
Of course.
It's all just male.
I mean, there's
Men
also,
are, look, here's the point blank.
We need someone to
Men-
sign the paychecks for sure.
It's always about outliers. See, oh, you tell me that no men, no women have helped. It's just male. It's always like an outlier. It has to be like Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying? So there was one female that helped. So that means they can all do it. Okay? Listen, it takes an army to keep what you're seeing going here. Okay? You can't do it with one.
Men are unilaterally responsible for every bit of comfort and security you are currently ungratefully enjoying. That's the difference.
if those are caregivers, nurturers, educators, are those not just as important as
Nope.
the physical aspects of this world?
Nope.
So if women are,
But caregivers, educators, okay? Those are men too. Look at all the male teachers. Look at all the male caregivers. Look at all the male nurses. Are you kidding me? Go to a college. Most professors are men. What is she talking about? Is there any one job aside from giving birth that only women can do? No!
Men, if women are delegated to these roles, or if they're better at these roles, it's because they have specific traits that men don't, which is empathy, caring, love, whatever. And that's not to say men don't, but it's
Well,
less.
no, that
And so
wouldn't
what if
entail
it's
that
just a world of men who are in like the higher class levels, then they a world of like sociopaths.
Higher class? Wait, what do you mean higher?
Meanwhile, all these women, all these feminists that you're looking at here, they all want to kill their kids with abortion. They're all pro-abortion.
Class levels.
I mean, sorry, like you said first class or first level, second level.
Oh, you're going back to Andrew's argument?
Yeah, so when you're talking about traits, so I reject your first premise where you say women are doing these jobs because they have traits which acclimate them to the job. So I just kind of reject that and say, well, no, I think that they do those jobs because they don't have the traits to do the other ones.
That's what you're assuming.
So then men are doing the roles that they're doing because they have better traits.
Well, they have the capacity. They have the capacity.
I'm trying to. You're saying that women do.
Let me answer the question. Hang on. Let me answer it. Okay. What I'm saying is that if you were to take away the idea that, it could be that women are only relegated to do these jobs because they have the best traits to do the jobs. I would just give the kind of counter response that no, they're relegated to do those jobs, even though men can do those jobs because those are the jobs that women are capable of doing, even though men are equally as capable of doing them. And by the way, I will go ahead and give you the benefit of the doubt that I'm wrong. All you have to do is give me a single job that you think that men are not just as capable of women at doing, and I will do the same with men to you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, parenting, mothering, nurturing, educating.
What parent? Wait. I'm sorry. Hang on. I just want to make sure.
Anything that has
one at a time. So let's start with mothering, right?
Hello, abortion. All these women are pro-abortion. Mothering? You're sitting here fighting against President Donald Trump, okay? You want to put Kamala Harris in because she's pro-abortion so you can kill your own kids. You're sitting here talking about parenting? What land are you on, lady? What land are you on? Come to reality. Common sense. Yeah.
You would agree with me that women only do that job because they're the only ones who can be mothers, right?
Yeah. Okay. Great,
but when you're talking about parenting, there's no way you're ever going to say that women are just better parents than men, or men can't do that job as well as women, right? You would say that?
I would say yes. More fathers are absent than mothers.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the capability of men to do the job of parenting is not equal to that of women.
How?
Oh, then a woman
Because
can easily do electricity.
you're making this kind of great conflation that because they can't. I'm making the exact opposite argument.
Because women don't go for these jobs, they can't?
No. That's a different argument. So your argument was if they're relegated to those roles by men, then they're relegated to those roles because men think that they're valuable in those roles because they have the traits that acclimate them to those roles. I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying no, that men can easily do those jobs just as easily as they can do the jobs that they're in now, but the reverse is not true.
Okay.
So when you say parenting, I think that men are just as capable of parenting as women.
Okay, we can disagree.
You don't think they're just as capable?
So why is it that you...
Wait, hang on.
This is when these women just disagree to disagree. Because you don't make sense. You're literally just disagreeing to disagree.
I don't think they're just as capable.
Well, I think just like you don't think women aren't as capable for certain positions, I think men aren't as capable for other positions that are equally as important that I just named.
What?
Educating, nurturing, parenting. Literally any of these roles that you think are delegated.
You think why? Like
well,
what?
So why do you think these other positions?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. But let's start. We already went over soldiering, for instance, right? And no, women are not just capable of men at soldiering. No, they're not.
I didn't say they were.
Now, I'm saying that's my example then. Your example. I would like you to give me whatever your evidentiary is that men are not just as good at educators as women. Let's look at professorships. Let's look globally at professorships.
Well,
let's look at stock.
Didn't I just say that? Come on, ladies. There's not a single job on earth aside from giving actual birth that men don't do as good or better. For real. Come on.
Let's look at doctors. Let's look at lawyers.
That are women.
Well, wait. I'm not disputing that women can do those jobs. Never disputed it. I'm just telling you that men can do them equally as good. And so if that's the case, I'm giving you counterexamples where women can't do this job equally as good.
Like sanitation?
So I really don't understand the equation, right?
And also in terms of parenting, if you look at the stats of single mother households compared to single father households, the single mother households are much more likely to produce criminals, to produce people who are mentally ill, to produce people who live in poverty, feminists, male feminists, and the like.
Look, I don't understand why anybody but Andrew is there, okay? I don't want to hear anyone besides Andrew. Okay? It's like no one can compete with Andrew. So I don't know what these like other people, I don't even know who they are. But it doesn't even make sense to have him there, all right? Because it's the Andrew Wilson show now. Brian, the Whatever Podcast has become the Andrew Wilson Podcast. I know you know that. You're very well aware, I'm sure.
Because the father isn't present,
Mother?
and the baby needs both parents.
No, this is
Wait.
Yeah.
Hold on. Jake, can you give your concrete?
That's a great feminist counter, actually. The great feminist counter is, well, that's because men aren't present. So all the data is coming from single mom households because there's so many of them to choose from. I agree with that, actually. That's a great counterpoint.
Thank you.
The problem is that now we're able to, now the court system has changed, men are able to get custody of their children more. So now what we can do is we can look at the data of...
It's true. They struggle more in court.
Yep. So now we can look at the data of what happens when you grow up in a single father household versus single mother, and we can draw it 1-to-1. The outcomes are still better in a single father household than single mother.
It's just, that's a very...
I think that's their opinion.
Wait,
That's not opinion.
Well, of course, it makes sense because let's think about it. Single mother versus single father, right? Right? Men have the capabilities of doing way more jobs, right? They're physically better. They can build, let's talk about this. A man, they can physically build a house for a family, for a child, right? Can work multiple jobs. They have more stamina. They're capable physically of doing more, right? Okay? A woman, think about just off of that, providing. You can't, it's difficult. It's too much. This is why the court system is built the way it is, because women are weak. They can't do it. That's why we have to take all the money from the men. That's why there's a thing called child support and alimony. If what they were saying was actually true, I'm talking about these feminists on here, why do we have a court system? Why do we have child support? Why do we have alimony? If women can do all these things on their own, why do men need to pay when people are divorced? You see what I'm saying? You see how you're creating your own demise? Stupidity.
Do you want to give your concreting example? Then I'm going to move it on to dating.
I was just going to say, do you guys like Barack Obama? Do you think he was a good president?
Yes.
By the way, you can also find that data that I just cited on the Substack of Rachel Wilson. She got all of it together so that you can see for yourself in single father versus single mother households how they fare differently.
Okay, I can look into that.
Well, it was Barack Obama who actually said that they're 20 times more likely to end up in prison. And I'm not sure the other statistics, but far more likely to end up in poverty and far more likely to end up in prison. Oh, no, in prison.
But why is that? So you're saying if you ended up single and you had a kid, your kid would be the most complete trash just because you're singly mothering him?
That's what I'm saying.
That's a very extreme place to take it to.
It's just based off of actual numbers.
No, but like you, I'm talking about you though. You, if you were
You seem like you'd be pretty happy in a world where women are just like pushed down and they don't really get to do whatever they want.
You want to bow down to a guy?
You gonna take that?
Like, yeah, really?
It's in my faith.
You want all your hardworking money to go to a man?
That's not
Hardworking money? Why are you even making money? Don't you understand what she's saying? She wants to be taken care of, which is the way life was actually designed. Like, women are put on a pedestal. You give birth. There's nothing higher than that. You give birth. You're supposed to be treated like a queen. That's the point. Why do you want to work? You want to bring yourself down here and have to go make money now and do all these things? Like, yeah, feminism actually puts women down. This is what I don't get. Like, you're not valued. You're devalued. Stupidity.
I don't think I should be working.
Hold on a second. Let her
the world.
Let her respond. You gonna take
I
that?
think that women, we compliment men very well, just like they compliment us very well. They're excellent protectors, providers, and leaders.
So, but you're saying you're not though. You're not an excellent provider, leader, lover.
I don't think that women should be the providers. I think men should be the providers.
Serena Joy.
I'm not saying you're the provider. I'm asking you if you feel like you should bow down to a man. Just because he gives you everything. Do you give him nothing though?
My man, yes. That's what I believe in. That's what it says in my Bible. That says how I'm supposed to honor my husband, and he's supposed to love me just as you're supposed to love the church.
You can honor your husband, respect him, but it should also be love towards from both sides. Like, you should not feel like you need to bow down to a man.
Love on both sides.
But you're bowing down to a man.
I'm not bowing down to him. I'm complimenting.
You just said.
What is this bowing down? Okay, what is this bowing down? What does it mean? So men, again, create every single thing that makes a woman's life easy. That's not bowing down to a woman. That's not worshiping women. Literally. I mean, your cell phone was made by a man. That's not showing you value. Like every single thing that we use was created by a man for a woman. Basically, that's how it all started. Like, I don't get it. So it's okay for a man to bow down to a woman, but it's not okay for a woman to bow down to a man. Distorted concept of like how life should work. It really is. I've never seen anything like it. It's really weird.
Can I cut in for a second?
Yes,
Who the fuck cares? Who cares?
That's how somebody wants to live in their life.
No, not about you. Like, who cares if you're gonna bow down to a man or if you're gonna be the leader? Like, fuck feminism, first off, because it is so annoying. Like, you can be a woman. Listen, you can be a woman and support women's rights, but not put down men because of it. You're sitting there talking shit about them. You are so sweet, but I'm pissed off. Like, it is just so aggravating. How are you?
Wait, into the mic, please. Into the mic.
Sorry. How are you going to get upset if she wants to bow down to her man because of her religion or how she feels?
I'm not getting upset. I'm just asking her a question.
Yeah, what you know?
Wow, is somebody with sense on that sitting on that side? That's the first time I've heard somebody with sense talking about how stupid feminism is. That's literally sitting on the feminist side. Weird. What she said is accurate.
I think that was directed at you, by the way, what she said.
Yeah, I know it was. And I said she was sweet, but I'm so mad.
I think you should take it to task for it.
I will not.
Curb stomper.
We just disagree. I don't think you should ever feel okay bowing down to somebody. I mean, I'll drop it. Like, I don't want to attack you for that. That's your belief. And if that's your belief, I respect that. If that's what you believe, awesome.
Like,
and
do
I'll
you mean
drop
be
it.
submissive, though?
Yeah. I mean, okay, maybe if that's who you are and who you want to be, then be that. I'm not going to attack that.
So you're like,
I'm sorry for getting
you're
upset.
like down 50-50 in a relationship?
Yeah.
So you'd prefer equality over chivalry?
Yeah.
I'm going to say it is nice that my boyfriend pays all the bills.
So first date, you split the bill?
Providing.
You split the bill on the first date? Like, you insist on splitting the bill?
I pay for some of the dates. Like, we go back and forth.
No. Okay,
Like,
let's talk about first date.
No. You're not going to get away with that one. No, you're not. You don't. Not you paid for a couple days. What is this? The Kim Kardashian rule? Oh, buy him a Murcielago, and then he'll marry me, and I'll take everything. No. That's not how it means 50-50. You buy a house, you pay half. Everything is 50-50. Everywhere you go, you fill up the gas tank, it's half. You buy a car, it's half, honey. See, these women, you want your cake and you want to eat it too. It's the problem with modern women. You can't do it all. You can't have it all. It's not your way and your way only. It doesn't work that way. That's why men end up marrying women like this and resenting them.
How many first dates have you been on?
Not really like a formal first date. We just like.
Have you been to dinner? Have you been to a movie?
With someone I've been in a relationship with for a while.
You've never been on a first date?
How are you in a relationship with somebody for a while and you've never been on a first date? So what, do you just start sleeping with them? Exactly. That makes no sense.
Not really. I mean, I guess technically, yeah. Yeah, sure. Like, yes, but not like, yes.
What? Okay. Who paid?
I don't remember.
The guy, didn't it?
I'm sure for one of the guys or some of the guys. Not every single time I've been on a first date they've paid. I can't pull up the numbers. I don't remember.
So you don't have a preference for men paying though?
No.
So you split the bill?
Yeah.
And then when it comes to last name, are you going to hyphenate your last name?
I would like to, yes.
If you get married?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want the man to protect you? Well, I think we actually established.
If needed, but in other moments, if I'm able to do so, I'll do that.
Of all the men you've dated, who took the initiative, the romantic initiative?
The man. I'm not as romantic though, or.
Well, who took the initiative?
What do you mean the initiative?
Who made the first move?
I did.
In all.
Okay, stay away. Stay away. Walk away. Okay, if you meet a woman that's even remotely resembling this woman's ideologies, run as fast as you can. Okay? Nothing but problems ahead.
Every single one of them. Not on every single one of them.
Well, are you talking?
So you're saying just because a man makes the first move, he's like.
That's a gender role. That's a gender role.
Okay. Well, yeah, it is a gender role. It doesn't mean it has to stick and be universal and stay.
A lot of men don't like that gender role because they feel like they're not getting romantic affection.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter whether men like it or not. Men have to operate in reality. So I could have this sort of wishful thinking where, yeah, as a guy, as an average man, I wish I had the sexual and romantic attention, the same exact sexual and romantic attention as the average woman.
Pick someone up in like an hour or so.
Can you not interrupt, please? But that would be wishful thinking. Average men can't just wait around for women to make the move, right?
That is true.
So we have to operate in reality. The reality is men have to take the initiative. Men have to make the first move. We have to ask you out. We have to plan the date. We have to typically pay for the date. We're going to have to move things forward if we want something. You disagree?
No, the comment.
He put down his arms and he's like...
Okay. So that's just the reality.
But a guy who drove a Lambo told me to.
Oh God.
He's actually ripped, rich, and rare.
Yeah, he's ripped, rich,
Not a
and rare.
man's world.
It's not my fault.
So your boyfriend, you're currently in a relationship, right?
Yes.
I
have to pick someone up.
You're in a relationship and you're sitting on the whatever podcast. Obviously, he's beta. Okay, I don't know what boyfriend or whatever husband, boyfriend would allow a girl to be sitting on that podcast. Unless he doesn't know you're there, sweetheart. I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay, so you've been in the 1 year relationship.
Touch My Blade donated $200. She would prefer to hyphenate her husband's name with her father's or grandfather's name. Checks out.
I'm in the process of changing my last name that was given from my father to my mother's maiden name.
What? Holy shit.
So from there, we're gonna.
Wait,
I really have to pick somebody up right now. I live 4 hours away.
Well, why don't you just stay till the end so we can try to get through everything?
I don't think it's supposed to be 11 o'clock.
I'll try.
Now she's trying to get out of this. She realizes that she got herself, backed into a corner. She's like, I gotta go pick somebody up. I gotta go pick.
I'll try.
I can just sit up.
Okay, I'm sorry, really quick though, you're gonna change your last name to your...
Yeah, because my father's absent and I don't want his last name.
Your parents aren't together?
Nope. Divorced 3rd grade.
Well, that says everything. That's everything you need to know. Her mother raised her and look what she turned out to be. And why did her father run? Who knows? Who knows? Hello? Actually, she's sitting here talking earlier about people that are raised by single mothers, and you're one of them. Look at your ideologies. Look at your thoughts. Look at how you're living. Okay.
Told you.
Told you.
Doesn't seem like a bad
Oh my God, I
person.
knew she had daddy issues. I knew it. Oh my God.
No, it's just I said that they're more likely to raise feminists, single moms.
More likely to raise feminists, single moms. Now, you would think it would be the antithesis. You would think that single mothers would be producing less feminists. Because if you're raised by a single mom and you're witnessing how difficult it is to be raised by a single mother, you would think that those girls, right, would be running towards the opposite direction. But no. Because I think modern women today, they like resistance. Because that's part of what feminism is, right? Resistance. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of OnlyFans on Trial. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share. Boys, stay away from feminists. Don't acquiesce to their nonsense. I'm DiBRAVA. See you next time.